Hello students, welcome back to your channel Schoolmih. I am Islamul Haq. Today I will explain Indian democracy. This is the part of class 10 social science. So let's start. See, Indian democracy, chapter number 1. Introduction. India was under British subjugation for nearly 2 centuries. Means we were under British control for nearly 200 years, from 1757 to 1947, and now we are not dependent, now we are independent, and we have attained our independence in the year 15th August 1947. And after attaining independence, now we are the biggest democratic country in the world. A constitution is very essential for independent and democratic country. Since we are independent and we are democratic, so a constitution is very necessary, and we have our constitution. See, constitution and democracy both are complementary to each other. Means if a country is independent, it should have its constitution, and if a country is democratic, then also it should have its constitution. But a country cannot be true democratic without having constitution of its own. Means if a country is democratic but it does not have its constitution, then we cannot say this country is purely democratic. Similarly, the role of constitution is meaningless without having democracy. A country having constitution but that country is not democratic, then also it is meaningless. That means a country is meaningful when it have its constitution and also a democratic country. Now see, we will go to history. In fact, the process of making democracy had begun before India attained her independence. Now see, before we attained our independence, we have started making our constitution. In the year 1945 in England, the Labour Party came to power, and they thought to give constitution to country India. And that is why Cabinet Mission came to India in March 1946 to create constitution for us. Now see, to make constitution, first Constituent Assembly was formed, and in the year 9th December 1946, first sitting of Constituent Assembly was held, and Dr. Sachinananda Sinha was the president of that first meeting, and he is the temporary president. He is not permanent president, and the permanent president was Dr. Rajendra Prasad. See, temporary president. Dr. Sachinananda Sinha was temporary president, and Dr. Rajendra Prasad was the permanent president of Constituent Assembly. And Constituent Assembly make drafting committee. On 29th August 1947, and Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar was the chairman of that committee. Along with Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar, there were other 6 members. Other 6 members were there. Another point you have to remember: 11 sittings of Constituent Assembly. See, after 2 years, 11 months and 18 days, it was handed over to the president of Constituent Assembly, that is Dr. Rajendra Prasad, and Dr. Rajendra Prasad signed it on 26th November 1949, and it came into force on 26th January 1950. The preamble is the first chapter of the Indian Constitution, where the first line of the preamble is, "We, the people of India, having slowly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic and republic, and so secure to all its citizens." Means this is the first page of our constitution. Preamble was not there at the time when constitution was adopted. It was added after 42nd constitutional amendment on 18 December 1976. Means so many years after making of the constitution, the preamble was added, and along with the preamble, the word like socialist, secular, unity was also included in that preamble in the year 1976. See, they are the members of drafting committee. Number 1, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, he is the chairman, and then N. Gopalaswamy Iyengar, Alladi Krishnaswamy Iyer, K.M. Munshi, Said Muhammad Sadullah, N. Madhavrao D.P. Kaitan. There are 7 members, chairman plus 6 members. See, in our constitution there are words, that is sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic and republic. Now we will see one by one what is the meaning of those words. Number 1, see, sovereign. India is sovereign state, means we are not under the control of any other countries. We are independent. We are absolute power. We have absolute power. We are not directed by any other forces. We are not directed by England. We are not directed by America. We have our constitution and we have our absolute power. This is the meaning of sovereign. Now see the word socialist. It has been included in the year 1976 after 42nd Amendment. And what does the word socialist means? There will be no inequality among the people of the country, means all the people are equal. We all are equal in all the respect. There will be no inequality among the people of the country. Now see the word secular. Secular means people have the right to perform their religion, to perform their religious activities. Now see the meaning of the word democratic. India is a democratic country, means the government of our country is being elected by the people, by the common people. It's not like monarchy where the king will rule after his tenure, his son will rule, then his grandson will rule. No, in the case of democratic, the people elect the government. This is the meaning of democratic. Now see republic. India is also a republic country where the head of the state, that is president, shall be elected by the people. Where the head of the state president is being elected by the people, is not like hereditary. Now we will see the federal characteristics of Indian political system. The word federation is being derived from a Latin word fidus, which means agreement or treaty. Is derived from a Latin word which means agreement or treaty. India is a federal state. What does it mean? It means we have 2 types of government. What are those 2 types? See, these are central government and state government. But we are not absolute federation or absolute federal country, because in case of emergency we does not have 2 types of government. In case of emergency we become a single government, that is union government. That's why we cannot say that we are a federal state or a federal country. We are quasi-federal state. We are quasi-federal state because in the normal days we have 2 types of government. We are federal, but in case of emergency, in case of war between 2 countries, in case of internal aggression or any other emergency, we become a single government, that is union government. That's why we are quasi-federal state. We are quasi-federal country. The federal system was introduced in the United States of America. Thus, USA is regarded as the homeland of federation. These are the short questions. It may come in your exam. That's why I have said this. Another question may come, that is article number 1 says that India is union of states. The another name of quasi-federal is peculiar federation, centralized federation, and federal in the form but unitary in the spirit. Sarkaria Commission was set up in the year 1883. Why Sarkaria Commission was set up? It was set up to resolve the conflict between central government and state government, because as we are federal state, we have 2 types of government, central government and state government. Sometimes there is a clash between central government and state government. That's why Sarkaria Commission was being set up to resolve those clash between central government and state government. Now we will see the main difference between parliamentary democratic system of India and England. Parliamentary democratic system. What are the difference between Indian parliamentary democratic system and England parliamentary democratic system? See, in India you will find India is a republic country, but in case of England it is not a republic country. Number 1. Example, the head of the state, that is president, is elected in our country, but in case of England the head of the state is queen or king, who is not elected, rather he or she become by heredity. They become by heredity. Power of Rajya Sabha in India is not same like the powers and the composition of Rajya Sabha in case of England. That's why it is not same as England. We can say it is different from England. Point number 3. The Parliament of England is most powerful, but in case of India is not so powerful. This is the third difference between India and England. Now this is the end of explanation. If you find the explanation helpful, then hit the like button and do subscribe the channel so that you can get such more videos for your studies. Thank you.